Hello, everyone. Today's Wish Wisdom Share is with the elegant Jenny Schmal. Jenny and I have been speaking about the importance of intuition in understanding how we feel when we're in the relational space, when we're in relation with someone else. Very important to take a minute and see, do I feel comfortable here? Do I feel safe? And from that, we base how much we share in the relationship and how much we hold back. Jenny, you and I have been chatting for a while and had a very interesting conversation about your personal life as well as how you use intuition when coaching your clients. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, please?
Sure, and it's really so special to be on this Wish with you. And I really enjoyed our conversation. I think in all relationships, I've got to learn, and it's what I extend to my coaching, is that intuition serves us so well. It expands our mind, and yet it comes from the soul and the heart. Intuition is speaking from the heart and listening from the heart. So when we go into a relationship, we have preconceived ideas, we have self-limiting beliefs, sometimes self-destructive beliefs which come from our conditioning. And we find it quite a scary space to be in. And I believe if we just silence ourselves when we are triggered in any situation in a relationship where we don't feel safe or we feel anxious or uneasy, if we just silenced ourselves and listened to our intuition and asked, what is really happening here? What is the truth here? And then listen for the answer. And so for me in a relationship and how I work with clients who are looking to go into relationships and specifically also relationship with self, is to use their intuition, because the intuition is always pro you. Always pro you. People, come to me and say, but my intuition said I should do that and it was a bad idea. No. If we listen carefully, intuition is always pro you. It's coming from a safe space, from a spiritual space, from, I call it beyond hearing. Yes. Or beyond speaking. It's that space. And you'll hear a whisper, okay, this is okay, or try this, or you are totally safe, or you are more than enough. And so I think using intuition is really so valuable. And it's a gift. It's a gift we all have, as long as we embrace it and practice it.
I so agree with it. That's so beautiful. And you mentioned about fear. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Gavin de Becker, who writes about the gift of fear in situations that can be threatening to us in a physical sense, about checking in with your intuition and how correct it actually is. So it's also about fear, and it's about that sense of feeling safe. As well, though, on an emotional level, depending on what our imprinting is about safety and about the people that we should have felt safe with right at the beginning of our journey when we're born. There's that aspect of it as well, the emotional sense of feeling safe. And your intuition is very spot on.
And I like that you said that, because yes, it does come from a space of our conditioning. And yet when we're children, possibly when some trauma happened or we felt unsafe, immediately, well, I did this for myself, you create an imaginary world for yourself where you're immediately safe. And yet when we're grown-ups, we stop doing that. Yes. And we immediately go into the downward spiral of not being okay, being in fear. And we've lost that sort of, well, we never lose anything, but lost that ability to be very quick in our feeling Because mostly when we grown-ups, it's all about thoughts. The thought passes, I'm not safe. We grab onto it and we hold. But in intuition, we just center ourselves and feel. I always say, put your hand on your heart. Immediately you feel safe. Okay, ask yourself the question again. You know, what is really going on here? Yes. And then you just your hand on your heart centers you. You feel safe and you can look at it from a different space. But intuition, especially where safety and security is concerned, we get intuitive messages all the time. Absolutely. And I think we sometimes don't listen to them, you know. Yeah. We're driving along, it says slow down, the robot's going to change. We don't listen. Yeah. Or turn right, you've missed the turning, and you say, but I have a GPS or sat nav. And you don't listen, and you get to the next and there's a T-junction. Right. And really, intuition is your inner sat-nav or inner guidance system.
Exactly. It is definitely that.
And if we really want to live a beautiful life, and it's saying it humbly, your intuition is always spot on. You're in a new relationship, you can just ask, how's this going to work out for me? Should I take this chance? What is my next step? And intuition always answers. It's a soft whisper. It is never a harsh, bold, shouting voice, or maybe 1% of the time it might be to give you a nudge, but it's a soft whisper for me and for the people I work with. It's just that soft nudge. Try this. Yes. And for me also, when I've used my intuition, and some of my clients, afterwards you feel satisfied. And satisfaction is that in alignment vibrationally space, which comes from using your intuition in relationships.
Beautiful, thank you. You've listened to your inner voice. And because so many of us from fear and trauma are fragmented, we're separated, we don't live together. And of course, healing that trauma would be when we do come together and work. We're not separated from our planet, we are part of the planet and nature. So coming together would be a healing of that. Thank you so much, Jenny, for being with us today.
It was my absolute pleasure. Thank you and blessings to you.